Hello everyone and welcome to this video lecture. In this video lecture, we will discuss one of the important topic of the engineering maths, which is partial differential equation. So what is partial differential equation? So before going to the topic, let us see some important basic concept. So consider a function z equal to f of xy, where x and y are independent variables and z is a dependent variable. So we shall use the following standard notation throughout the unit, that p is first derivative with respect to x, q is first derivative with respect to y, r is second derivative with respect to x completely, s is the mixed derivative of order 2 with respect to x and y, and t is del 2z by del y square, that is second order derivative with respect to y. What is partial differential equation? An equation containing partial derivatives of dependent variables with respect to two or more independent variable is called partial differential equation, or simply a differential equation containing partial derivative is called partial differential equation. Now next, what is mean by order of the differential equation? So the order of differential equation is nothing but the order of highest partial derivative appearing in the equation. For example, if we have the equation like this, del 2z by del x square plus 2 times del 2z by del x del y plus del 3z by del x cube is equal to say 0. So here this is a second order derivative term, this is also second order, and this is a third order derivative. So highest order derivative term is this. So here the order of derivative is 3. So that's why the order of differential equation will be 3. Okay. Now, so thus an equation containing x, y, z, p, q defines a first order partial differential equation, because here p and q are what? The first order derivative with respect to x and y. That's why the order of differential equation will be first. Now, the degree of partial differential equation means the degree exponent of highest order partial derivative occurring in the equation after the equation is made free from radicals and fractions, right? For example, if we take the same example, so this is the highest derivative term. So over here, what is the exponent over here? Power of this 1. So that's why degree of this differential equation will be 1. Let us take another example. If we have del 2z by del x square 2 times plus say del 3z by del x del y square plus say 7 times del 3z by del x cube to the power 2 is equal to say sin x plus y, right? So here what is the order of the derivative differential equation? The highest order derivative terms are these, power 3, here also power 3. So the order of differential equation is what? 3. But you have to see the exponent. What is the exponent of this derivative term? 1. Whereas the exponent of this is what? 2. So what should be degree? Degree must be 2. Okay. So for example, p plus q equal to 1. The highest derivative term is first order. P and q are both first order derivative term. So that's why order is 1. And what is their power over here? Is 1. So that's why degree 1. Now here, p plus r plus s. P is first order derivative, r is second order, s is also second order. That's why highest order derivative term is second order. Hence order of the differential equation 2. And what is the power over here? Power is 1, right? So degree is 1. What is mean by linear partial differential equation? So differential equation is said to be linear if its partial derivatives is of degree 1. Otherwise, it is called non-linear partial differential equation. So, in the above example, both the equations are of degree 1, partial derivatives, right? This is partial derivative. What is their degree? 1. So, that's why this is a linear differential equation. Okay. Now, how to form partial differential equations? So, that can be done in two ways. First is elimination of arbitrary constants. For example, if we have equation f of x, y, z, a, b. So, here a and b are what? Arbitrary constants. And z is a function of two independent variables, x and y. Let us differentiate this with respect to x and y partially. Now, differentiation with respect to x. So, it is del f by del x plus partial differentiation. So, obviously, derivative with respect to of y with respect to x will be what? 0. So, 0. Then derivative of f, z is a function of x and y, right? So, here we have this type of derivative, that is derivative of first f with respect to z, and then z is a function of x. So, del z by del x is equal to 0. In the same way, we can have derivative with respect to y. So, obviously, derivative of f with respect to x will be 0 because while differentiating with respect to y, x will be what? Constant. So, what we have? 0. Now, next with respect to y, it will be del f by del y. Then plus again with respect to z, first derivative of f with respect to z, and then z is a function of y. So, del z by del y equal to 0. So, eliminating a and b from equation number 1 using equation 1, 2, 3, we get an equation of the type f of x, y, z, p, q equal to 0, which is a partial differential equation of first order. Now, note here, if the number of arbitrary constant equals the number of independent variables. Say for example, in this question, the arbitrary constants are a and b, right? And the number of independent variables are 2, x and y. Then the partial differential obtained by elimination is of first order. That's why we are getting here a first order differential equation. Now, if number of arbitrary constant is more than independent variables, observe here, more than independent variables, then the partial differential obtained is of either second degree or higher order, right? So, this is the first method to form the partial differential equation. The second is by elimination of arbitrary functions. So, partial differential equation can be formed by eliminating arbitrary function phi from the functions of phi of u v equal to 0, where u and v are functions of x, y and z. Okay. Now, let us move on to the next concept, that is linear partial differential equation of first order, first degree, right? So, it is called Lagrange's linear partial differential equation. So, the differential equation, obviously partial, of the form PP plus QQ equal to R, where this capital PQR are the functions of x, y, z, is called Lagrange's linear equation. Now, the general solution of this equation is given by f of u v equal to 0, where phi is an arbitrary function and u of x, y, z equal to a and v of x, y, z equal to b, with a and b as constants, are the two linearly independent solutions of the equation dx by p equal to dy by q equal to dz by r, and this equation is called Lagrange's auxiliary equation or the subsidiary equation, right? So, the equation of this pp plus qq is equal to r is given by phi of u v equal to 0. Now, let us see the working rule for solving Lagrange's equation. So, the step 1 is put the given partial differential equation in a standard form. that is pp plus qq equal to r. Second step is to write the corresponding Lagrange's auxiliary equation given by dx by p equal to dy by q equal to dz by r. Then the next step is to solve these Lagrange's auxiliary equation in order to obtain the two independent solutions, namely u of xyz equal to a and v of xyz equal to b, where a and b are constants, by one of the following method. The first method is method of grouping, the second method is method of substitution, and the third method is method of multiplier. Okay. Then once we get these two independent solution, then the next step is to write the general solution in one of the following equivalent forms, that is either phi of uv equal to 0 or u equal to phi of v or v is equal to phi of u. Remember, phi is an arbitrary function, so you can write in place of phi f g u f g h like this, any notations, right? But that should be a arbitrary function. Okay, now so let us see what is the first method. So the first method is called method of grouping, right? So what we have to do here in this method, so we have to group any two pair or the fraction from the auxiliary equation. Question is how to pair up these two fractions. So while pairing, what you have to do, you will have to observe that the third variable is absent, or if it is present, must be cancelled out easily. Now see here what I am having. The auxiliary, it means what does it mean? So it means, see here I am having this auxiliary equations dx. So here we want as here differential with respect to x is here. So here I want completely if I am grouping these two fractions. Okay, so here x, here y. So when we consider these two fractions, so what you have to remember, that this collectively should contain the term of x and y only. There should not be a term of z, and if it is there, then that should be cancelled out. If I am considering these two pairs, so here I am having dy dz, means variable must be y and z. So what is the third variable over here is x. So that must be either absent or it must be cancelled out easily. Okay. Okay, so based on this method, let us solve the example. So given differential equation is this partial differential equation. Okay. Now, so what we do, we'll first see whether it is in the standard form or not as per the step 1. So that is comparing this with the pp plus qq equal to r in order to get capital P, Q and R. So coefficient of small p is capital P. So what is capital P? Y, Z. Coefficient of small q is Zx. So that is Q. And the right hand side is R. Now, so we can write the Lagrange's auxiliary equation given by dx by p equal to dy by q equal to dz by r. Substitute here P, Q and R, right? So we get Lagrange's auxiliary equation. Now you have to consider the any two pair as per the procedure I have mentioned just now. So if I am considering these two pair, so here what I want completely x and y, but what I am observing here z is there, but that gets cancelled out. So I can consider the first two pair. Okay, now is there any possibility of considering second and third pair? Yes, y and z is there, so I am having y and z. Apart from that, x is also there, but that gets cancelled. So I can consider second and third. Is there any possibility of first and third? Yes, for first and third, what we want? We want x and z completely. Okay, y is present, but that also gets cancelled out. So from this Lagrange's auxiliary equation, there is a possibility of considering the three different pairs, out of which we have to select only two pair. So let us take first pair, that is first and second fraction. Okay, so z get cancelled. We have dx by y equal to dy by x. Now, so rearrange variable separable form. Remember, generally most of the equations will get solved by making use of the variable separable form of the differential equation. So it is variable separable form. Integrating, we get the derivative integration of x with respect to x will be x square by 2. Here integration will be y square by 2. Now as both the terms has the form divided by 2, so let us take the constant also a by 2. You can take simply a also, right? That doesn't matter. So here I am taking a by 2. Shift all the variable term on one side, 2 will get cancelled. So what I am having, x square minus y square equal to a. So leaving the constant, the other term left is nothing but u. So what is u here? X square minus y square. Now next consider the next pair, that is I am taking second and third. So second and third, y and z is required only, x get cancelled. So I am having dy by z equal to dz by y. Again obtain variable separable form. Integrating, we get y square by 2 equal to z square by 2, as both the term has divided by 2. So I am taking, for sake of convenience, the constant also b by 2, right? So now to shift all the variable term on the left hand side, so we have y square minus z square by 2 is equal to b by 2. 2 will get cancelled. So what is left? Y square minus z square equal to b. Leave this constant, the remaining part is v. So v is y square minus z square. So we are in the position to write the required general solution given by f of uv equal to 0, where f is a arbitrary function. So substitute u and v by making use of equation 3 and 4. So it is x square minus y square and y square minus z square equal to 0. Now the question is it a unique solution? So the answer is no, because there is a possibility of considering the third pair also. So the solution of this partial differential equation need not be unique. Okay, so you can get the another form for the solution also. If instead of considering first, second and second, third pair, you can consider first, second, first, third pair like this. Okay. Yes, let us take the second example on the method 1. So it is xp plus yq equal to 3z. Again comparing with the standard form. So coefficient of p is capital P, so that is x. Coefficient of q is small q is capital Q, that is y, and right hand side is capital R. So we can write the Lagrange's auxiliary equation, which is dx by p, which is x equal to dy by q equal to dz by r, substituting p, q and r. Right. Again let us see what is the possibility of grouping. Can we consider first two fraction? Yes, because here it contains completely x and y. Next, can we consider second and third? Yes, because here it contains y and z. Is there any possibility of first and third? Yes, completely x and z. So here again we have three pair to be considered, to be grouped in order to get the solution, out of which we will consider any two. So let us consider first two pair. Dx by x is equal to dy by y. Now variable separable form. So integrating, we get log x integration of 1 by x is log x, integration of 1 by y with respect to y is log y. Both the terms are log, so let us take constant also in the form of log a. Shift variable term, so it is log x minus log y. What is log x minus log y? Is log of x by y is equal to log a. Now taking anti-log, log will get cancelled. So we have x by y equal to a. So leave this arbitrary constant. What is left is nothing but u. So u is x by y. Now next consider second and third. Again variable separable form. So integrate. We get log y equal to 1 by 3 constant. Integration of 1 by z is log z. Plus I am again taking constant as log b. Right. Shift all variable, and I can write it as, it is in the form m log a. What is m log a? M log a is log of a raised to m. So this goes in the power. So it is log of z raised to power 1 by 3. Now shift variable term on the left hand side. So log y minus log of z raised to power 1 by 3. Log a minus log b is log of a by b. So that I am getting is equal to log b. Again, you can cancel log by taking anti-log. So we have y by z raised to power 1 by 3 is equal to b. Leave this constant, the remaining is v, right? So we have obtained u and v. So we can write the required solution. That is f of uv equal to 0. U is x by y, v is y upon z raised to power 1 by 3 equal to 0. Now, let us move on to the next example. Solve y square p minus xyq equal to x times z minus 2y. Now here what is capital P? Y square. So therefore dx by y square equal to, what is capital Q? Coefficient of Q is minus xy. So dy by minus xy equal to dz by right hand side. Now can we consider first two fraction? Answer is yes. So we can consider. Y will get cancelled, right? Obtain variable separable form. Take this x on this side. So x dx is equal to y d minus y dy. Integrate x square by 2. This is equal to minus y square by 2 plus constant. We'll take it as a by 2. Shift all the constant variable term. So x square by 2 plus y square by 2 equal to a by 2. 2 to cancel. What we have? X square plus y square equal to a. Now next, is there any possibility of considering second and third fraction? So here I want completely y and z. X must not be there. Here it is x, that gets cancelled out. So we can consider second and third. Is there any possibility of considering first and third? First and third means only x and z is required. We don't want a y. But what we observe, the term of y is here. Here also, which does not get cancelled. Why? Because even if this gets cancelled, it has no possibility of cancellation because it is in the subtraction with this, right? So this does not get cancelled. So no possibility of cancelling the third variable. Hence we don't have any possibility of considering first and third fraction. So only two pairs are there, that is first and second, second and third. So in such case, the solution of this partial differential equation will be unique. Okay, so let us consider second and third. X get cancelled. Now remember, whenever we have certain terms in a subtraction, so that should be taken in the numerator. So I'll take this on this side. Obviously this comes over here. So what we have, dz by dy equal to z minus 2y upon what is left, minus y. Now separate the numerator. So minus z by y, then minus minus plus 2 y cancel, so plus 2. Shift it on the right hand side. Now left hand side. So what here? It is nothing but a linear partial differential equation. This is a linear differential equation in z. Okay, so if you remember, in partial ordinary differential equation, the form of the linear differential equation is dy by dx plus p of x into y equal to q of x, right? So here in place of if I'll write this in terms of z and y, so it will become dz by dy plus p of y into z equal to q of y, right? So what is p of y over here? Is 1 by y. So such solution is the solution of such equation is obtained by first evaluating integrating factor. So that is e raised to power integration of p of y dy, right? So what is e raised to power integration of p of y is 1 by y dy. Integration of 1 by y is log y. So e raised to power log y, which means nothing but y. Now how to obtain the solution? So solution is given by dependent variable. What is dependent variable? Z into integrating factor, which is y, equal to integration of right hand side. What is right hand side? 2 into integrating factor, integration with respect to y, plus constant. So here it is z into y equal to integration of right hand side into integrating factor plus constant of integration. Simplify this integration, so it will be 2 constant outside. Integration of y will be y square by 2. 2 get cancel, we have y square simply plus b. Shift this variable term on the left hand side, so we have zy minus y square equal to b. So again leave this constant, so remaining part is v. Like this we get a required solution. F of u equal to 0 with u as x square plus y square and v as zy minus y square equal to 0. Now here in the second pair, this is one way of solving the partial differential the one way of solving this differential equation. You might find the another way also, that is also valid. Now let us discuss the next method, that is called method of grouping. So what we do here, so what we find, sometimes we get only one pair from a Lagrange's auxiliary equation to be grouped, right? So from that we get the first solution, but it is not possible to get the second solution. So what we do, we use the first solution in order to get the second solution as a substitution. That's why this method is called method of substitution. Okay, let us see. So by example, so solve p minus q equal to log of x plus y. So we have given differential equation. What is capital P? 1. Capital Q is, coefficient of Q is minus 1, so minus 1. In the right hand side is R, that is, so we have Lagrange's auxiliary equation. Here I can consider only first two pair. So dx by 1 equal to dy by minus 1. Integrating, integration of 1 is x, integration of minus 1 is minus y, plus constant of integration as a, right? Shift variable term, so x plus y equal to a. So leave this constant, so remaining is u, so u is x plus y. Now here there is no possibility of getting the second pair, that is I cannot, neither I can consider first and third nor second and third, because third variable is always there. Okay, so what we do, so here in this third fraction we have the value of x plus y as a, that we will use in the third fraction, and then you can compare this third fraction with either first one or with the second one. So I am considering by substituting this in the third fraction with the first one. So what we have, dx is equal to dz log of x plus y is a according to equation 2, so log a. Now integrate, integration of 1x, then 1 by log a constant, integration of 1z plus constant of integration. Shift all the variable term, and once the integration is over, you will have to replace back the value of this a, so that is x plus y. So leave this constant, we get v. Like this we get the solution by making use of the second method. Let us move to the next example on the second method. So again we will write, now see first whether it is in the standard form or not. So it is not in the standard form, so we will first write it as per the requirement. So it is pp, then shift it over here, so we get qq equal to r. Okay, so Lagrange's auxiliary equation is dx by p equal dy by q equal to dz by r. P is y, q is minus x, and r is minus x e raised to power x square plus y square. Now can we consider first two fraction? Yes, because it is completely in terms of x and y. Okay, now obtain variable separable form. Integrating, we get x square by 2, integration of y is y square by 2 minus outside plus I am taking a by 2. So x square plus y square equal to a. So this implies u equal to x square plus y square. Now next, is there any possibility of considering second and third fraction? So we want only y and z, but what I am getting, even though this x get cancelled, but x term of one extra term of x is here, which does not get cancelled. So no possibility for second and third. Similar will be the explanation for first and third. So what we do here, again x square plus y square equal to a is there, which we find here, right? So we'll put this as a in the third fraction and equating with any one of the pair, either with the second pair or with the first pair. So I am equating it with the second pair. So it is dy by minus x is equal to dz by minus x e raised to power, this is a. This is constant, x get cancel, take this on left hand side, so e raised to power a dy equal to dz. Integrating, we get e raised to power a constant, integration of 1y equal to integration of 1z plus b. Shift all variable terms, right? Then after integration you have to replace back the value, so that is x square plus y square. So what we have, v is y into e raised to power x square plus y square minus z. Therefore the required solution is f of uv equal to 0 with the values of u as x square plus y square and v as y e raised to power x square plus y square minus z. Now let us take third example on the method 2. So again let us see whether it is standard form or not. So we will write it as zp minus zq equal to this. We can write Lagrange's auxiliary equation. So coefficient of p is z, so that is capital P. Coefficient of q is minus z, that is capital Q in the right hand side. So we get this. Now here we can consider first and second fraction where z is a third variable but which get cancel. So I can consider first and second pair, z get cancel, integrate remaining part, we get first solution, right? So u is x plus y. Now is any possibility for first and third or second and third? Observe it carefully. So no possibility, because here I am finding, if I am considering second and third, x is extra which cannot get removed. If I am considering first and third, then y is extra which also will not be removed. Okay, so no possibility. But as I know x plus y is a, and I am observing this type of term over here, so I can make use of the substitution very well. So put x plus y equal to a in the third fraction and comparing it with either first fraction or a second fraction. So here I am considering it with a first fraction. Okay, so we are having what I am having, dx by z equal to dz upon z square, then x plus y is a, so a square. Right. Obtain variable separable form, so dx is equal to z dz upon z square plus a square. Now integrating, so integration of this is x. What about this? So what is the derivative of z square plus a square? It is 2z. 2 is missing, so we can arrange that. So multiplying and dividing by 2. So when we divide by 2, integration of multiply this by 2, what will be integration? Log of z square plus a square, and at the same time I am dividing also, so 1 by 2 is here. Okay, plus b. Shift all the other term on the left hand side and replace the value of a. Like this we get the second independent solution. Hence we can have the required solution given by f of uv equal to 0. Now let us see the last example based on this method. That is, solve p plus 3q equal to 5z plus 10 of y minus 3x. Okay, so we'll write Lagrange's auxiliary equation. Can we consider first and second fraction? Yes. So consider, rearrange, multiply this by 3, 1 over here, so integration. So it is 3x equal to y plus a. So what we have, y minus 3x will be minus a. Remember, a is arbitrary constant, so minus a will also be constant. Let us denote it by a1. So y minus 3x is a1, where a1 is minus a, right? So the first solution is y minus 3x. Now, how to obtain second solution? So by observation, obviously first method is not applicable again for getting the second independent solution. So we'll make use of this solution, that is substitution method. So consider this y minus 3x in the third fraction as a1 and compare it with the either first one or the second one. So I am taking it with the first one. Now this is constant, so it is 1 by phi z. What is the integration of 1 by phi z? 1 by phi outside constant, and integration of 1 by z is log of this phi z plus this constant as it is plus b. Shift variable term on one side and simplify. At the same time I am multiplying by 5 also, so this will become 5b, which I am denoting by b1. So we get an independent solution v, hence the required solution is obtained. So I hope through this video lecture the concept of solving Lagrange's differential equation must be clear, and also the ideas behind using the method 1, that is method of grouping, and the method 2, that is method of substitution, is very well understood, right? Remember, method 2 is a handicap method which works only if you will get the first solution by method 1. Otherwise you cannot use directly the method 2 in order to get the both the solutions. Thank you very much for watching this video.